Today, we're going to ignite creativity with a super cool DIY project. Mixing candles with wood powder. Just imagine handmade scented candles that look stunning and release the natural, warm aroma of wood, like bringing a little forest corner into your home. You don't need to be a pro crafter, just have the courage to try and a love for beauty. Ready? Let's dive in and create a masterpiece together right now. Candles are super easy to find. Just grab some at Target, Walmart, or your local craft store. And of course, Amazon's got tons of options too. But hey, if you're feeling crafty, you can always get some wax and wicks and make your own from scratch. So, now that we've cut the candles into smaller pieces, it's time to move on to the fun part, creating the mold. First, I'll line the bottom with a layer of aluminum tape. This helps seal the base and keep everything in place while we pour the wax. Next, I'm using a wooden tongue depressor to shape the mold. It helps create a clean edge and keeps the wax from leaking out while it sets. First, I'll cut the outer frame. This step gives us the basic shape of the mold and makes it easier to set up the inner parts later. Now it's time to secure everything with hot glue. I carefully apply the glue along the edges and press the pieces together, making sure there are no gaps in between. This step is really important, because if the frame isn't sealed tightly, the wax could leak out later when we pour it in. Once the mold is ready, I'll cut the tongue depressor into smaller sections. These pieces will act as barriers inside the mold, helping to shape the candle neatly and evenly. The hot glue not only holds the structure firmly in place, but also adds an extra layer of protection to keep the mold steady while we work. Now that the mold is complete, I'm going to brush a thin layer of cooking oil over the bottom surface. This step might seem small, but it's actually very important. The oil acts as a release layer. So once the candle hardens, it won't stick tightly to the mold. That way, we can easily take the candle out without damaging its shape. It's a simple trick, but it makes the whole process smoother and saves a lot of time later on. After brushing the bottom, I also coat the inner walls of the mold with a thin layer of oil. This ensures the candle won't stick to the sides as it hardens, making it much easier to release the final shape cleanly. A smooth, even coat of oil helps the candle slide out without cracks or rough edges. With the mold fully prepared, it's time to melt the candles. I place the cut pieces into a heat-safe container and slowly heat them up until they turn into a smooth, liquid wax. As the heat builds up, the wax slowly begins to melt. The solid chunks turn soft around the edges first, then gradually blend into a golden, liquid form. I keep stirring gently to help the pieces dissolve evenly, making sure there are no lumps left behind. While the wax is melting, I prepare the wood powder. I take a small bowl and scoop out just the right amount. The fine texture of the powder will mix easily with the hot wax, adding both a natural scent and a rustic look to the candle. Once the wax is completely melted, I slowly sprinkle the wood powder into the hot liquid. I stir it gently but thoroughly, making sure the powder spreads evenly throughout the wax. This step not only gives the candle a warm, woody fragrance, but also creates a unique rustic texture that makes each piece one of a kind. With the wax and wood powder fully blended, it's time to prepare for pouring. I carefully bring the container over the mold, making sure it's steady and ready. A slow and controlled pour will help the mixture settle evenly inside, preventing air bubbles and giving the candle a smooth, solid finish. I take it slow, letting the liquid flow smoothly so it fills every corner without spilling. With the mold filled, the next step is simply waiting. I leave the candle to cool at room temperature, giving the wax enough time to settle and harden completely. Once the wax is fully hardened, it's time to remove the mold. I carefully peel away the outer frame, making sure not to damage the edges of the candle. After taking the candle out, I notice a thin layer of cooking oil still clinging to the surface. To clean it up, I gently wipe the candle with a paper towel, removing any excess oil and leaving the surface smooth and dry. Now, I carefully separate the candle pieces one by one from the mold. Thanks to the thin layer of oil we applied earlier, the candle slips out smoothly, revealing its solid shape and rustic texture. Each piece comes out with its own unique texture and pattern from the wood powder, making them look rustic and handcrafted. To keep the candles fresh and protected, I place them into a glass jar. The airtight container not only prevents dust and moisture from getting in, but also helps preserve their natural woody scent. Plus, storing them this way makes the candles look neat and ready to use anytime. I drill a small hole right in the center of each candle piece. Into this hole, I insert a cotton string to serve as the wick. Once the wick stands straight and steady, the candle is ready for a test burn. I light the wick, and right away the flame catches, glowing warmly while releasing a soft, natural wooden scent into the air. Another nice benefit of these candles is the warmth they give off. Even a small flame can gently raise the temperature around it, creating a cozy feeling on cool evenings. Combined with the natural wooden scent, the candle makes the space feel warm, calm, and inviting. Perfect for relaxing or unwinding after a long day. Beyond its practical uses, the candle also serves as a beautiful decoration. The rustic texture from the wood powder gives a natural, handmade look that adds charm to any room. Whether placed on a table, a shelf, or inside a glass holder, it creates a warm and inviting atmosphere, making the space feel more stylish and unique. One of the great benefits of this candle is that the natural wood powder in the wax helps repel mosquitoes. As the candle burns, it releases a gentle smoky scent that insects don't like, making the space more comfortable and mosquito-free. For an extra boost of fragrance, you can also add a few drops of essential oil into the melted wax before pouring. Surprisingly, these candles can also be used as a simple heat source for cooking. With a steady flame, they can warm up small pots or boil water in a pinch. It's not as strong as a regular stove, but in outdoor settings or during a power outage, the candle doubles as a handy mini cooking tool. As the candle burns down and reaches the wood powder at its core, the flame naturally grows stronger. At this point, it's no longer just a candle. It turns into a small stove. So that's our DIY wood powder candle. Simple, practical, and full of benefits. Give it a try and enjoy the warmth and charm it brings. Have you ever wondered about this crazy idea? Mixing sugar with cement? Sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, right? But trust me, this odd combo might just surprise you. Will it turn into some kind of super material, or just a sticky mess that's totally useless? Today, we're diving into the weird science behind this experiment to find out the truth. Is this going to be a game changer, or just a funny fail? So get ready for a fun and exciting ride, where you'll see cement and sugar in a whole new way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on more creative experiments. Let's jump right in. You can easily find cement at any local hardware store, construction supply shop, or even big home improvement centers. As for coal, you can look for it at fuel supply stores, blacksmith suppliers, or sometimes in gardening shops where it's sold as charcoal for heating or barbecues. Online marketplaces are also a great option if you want to get both materials delivered straight to your home. Once you got your coal, the next step is to crush it down into fine powder. You can start by breaking it into smaller chunks with a hammer, then grind it using a mortar and pestle or any sturdy grinder. The goal is to create a smooth, powdery texture that will mix easily with cement. Make sure to wear gloves and a mask during this process, since coal dust can get messy and shouldn't be inhaled. After grinding the coal into powder, the next step is to sift it through a fine mesh sieve. This will separate the larger chunks from the smooth, fine dust that we actually need. Place a pan on the stove and turn on the heat. Then, carefully add the coal powder and cement into the pan. For this experiment, we're using a 1-to-1 ratio of cement to coal powder. That means equal parts of each material. This balanced proportion helps the two substances blend evenly, creating a uniform mixture that's perfect for testing. Use a sturdy spatula or spoon to stir the mixture evenly, making sure the two materials blend together thoroughly. Keep stirring slowly and consistently so the heat spreads evenly across the mixture. After that, let the mixture cool down completely. Once it's safe to handle, carefully pour it into a container or box for storage. Next, I'll prepare a small amount of brown sugar and add a little into the container with the mixture. The next step is to add water into the container. Only a small amount of sugar is needed. If you add too much, it will actually reduce the cement's ability to harden, weakening the mixture instead of strengthening it. This happens because sugar acts as a retarder in cement chemistry. It interferes with the hydration process, slowing down or even preventing the crystals inside the cement from bonding properly. Next, we'll add a small amount of WD-40 into the mixture. This will help increase the effectiveness of the blend by making it smoother and easier to work with, while also adding a protective layer that can influence how the mixture reacts over time. After preparing all the ingredient above, now it's time to get ready for the final ingredient. This last addition will complete our mixture and set the stage for the experiment. Now, I'll prepare a small amount of gasoline as the final ingredient. Since gasoline is highly flammable and dangerous, it must be handled with extreme caution. Next, I'll add some styrofoam into the mixture. When combined with gasoline, the styrofoam will quickly start to dissolve, creating a thick, sticky substance with a glue-like texture. As the styrofoam touches the gasoline, you can immediately see it shrinking and melting away. The solid foam structure quickly collapses, and the bubbles inside disappear. Within moments, it transforms into a dense, sticky, gel-like substance that clings together. And to mix all of these ingredients together, I'm going to make a simple stirring tool. This homemade tool will help blend the cement, coal powder, sugar, WD-40, gasoline, and styrofoam evenly, creating one unified mixture. I'll take a metal clothes hanger, cut off the hook part, and then bend the remaining wire into shape. This will turn it into a sturdy, handmade stirring tool that's perfect for mixing the thick and sticky mixture. Next, I'll attach the bent wire to a drill. This way, it turns into a powerful mixer that can easily stir and blend even the thickest parts of the mixture, saving time and effort compared to mixing by hand. Now that all the preparations are complete, it's time to move on to mixing the ingredients together. Add the sugar water into the cement and coal mixture. Pour it in slowly while stirring, so the liquid spreads evenly and starts binding with the dry ingredients, creating a thicker, stickier texture. Now, I'll add the styrofoam portion into the mixture. As soon as it goes in, it begins to react with the other ingredients, softening and blending into the thick paste we created. Instead of mixing by hand, I'll use a drill mixer. Since styrofoam takes a long time to fully blend in, the machine will make the process faster and ensure that everything mixes evenly into a smooth, consistent paste. As the drill spins, the mixture begins to swirl rapidly, pulling the styrofoam deeper into the blend. You can see the texture changing. The paste becomes thicker, stretchier, and more elastic with every turn. The sound of the machine mixing and the sight of the mixture tightening up make the whole process even more dramatic. After a few minutes of mixing, the ingredients have finally come together into a dense and uniform paste. Over time, the sidewalk and the connecting concrete section have started to peel away completely. The one solid bond is weakened, leaving cracks and gaps where the cement used to hold firmly. What was once a smooth surface is now rough and broken, showing clear signs of wear and separation. The cement provides a solid foundation. The coal powder adds density. The sugar slows down the setting process for a tighter bond. And the styrofoam mixed with gasoline creates a sticky, glue-like texture. Together, they form a reinforced paste that grips firmly onto the surface and resists peeling or cracking over time. Next, we move on to a section of concrete that has a hole in it. This damaged spot exposes the weak point of the surface, making it the perfect place to test how well our special mixture can fill and restore the concrete. To repair it, I carefully fill the hole with a mixture, pressing it deep inside to make sure every gap is packed tightly. Then, I smooth out the surface with a trowel, so the patch blends seamlessly with the surrounding concrete. Once it sets, the hole will be sealed and reinforced, restoring both the strength and appearance of the area. Now, we simply wait and give the mixture time to set. As it cures, the bond becomes stronger, gradually hardening into a solid patch that blends with the original concrete. Patience here is key to achieving the best result. After just one afternoon, the mixture has already begun to harden. The patched area feels firm to the touch. When the stick strikes the surface, it gives off a solid, firm sound, showing that the mixture is hardened well. The patched area doesn't crack or break apart. At most, there's just a slight dent from the force, proving that it's already tough and well bonded to the concrete underneath. While unconventional, the mixture bonds firmly, fills cracks effectively, and even resists moisture. It's a fascinating look at how chemistry and creativity can transform simple ingredients into something entirely new.